You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak, and the show, Morning Light, is brought to you by Photo Central. We're overdue in having our sponsor on the airwaves, so it's my pleasure to welcome back the best voice not in radio, Andrew Toews, to the program. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Simon. Thank you very much.
I should say, not usually on the radio. Wonderful to have you here today, and you always sound fantastic, that rich bass voice of yours in the commercials. How are things going over on Portage Avenue?
Things are going very well. Thank you. Yeah. It's hard to believe we're already getting into this season. And as I was driving here this morning, it was dark as I left, and that brings on images of what's to come. But we will try not to talk about Christmas just yet.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hold off on that at least for a month or two longer. But let me ask you, kind of looking at the back, how was the summer months over at Photo Central?
Summer months were very good. Yes, the photographic industry is just humming right along. People have embraced the hobby and are looking for all kinds of things, and there's all kinds of new equipment coming out. There's lots of excitement about all the new things that you can do, and people are printing, people are traveling, which always spurs a lot of people through the door at our place, which is great.
I'm curious, you mentioned some of those new announcements. Is the fall season a time of new camera announcements or new arrivals, or is there quite that structure or schedule when it comes to the camera rotation?
There used to be. These days, things can show up at any time. And, of course, there's always the obligatory asterisk with the if supply warrants, and supply is a little bit tough. So you never know when things are going to arrive these days. But yeah, there are new things to see, and there will be new things coming over the next couple of months. So it's definitely worth keeping in touch.
Well, let's talk about some of the things going on over at the store. Maybe people are doing some fall cleaning. I know I was out in the yard yesterday doing a whole bunch of work. If someone's got some cleaning that they're doing and they come across an old camera, or maybe are looking to upgrade, great opportunity coming up later this month, the return of KEH. Can you tell us more about them? We've talked about them on the program before, but tell us more about this event.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do take used equipment in trade, but we can't buy directly. And a lot of people sometimes are just looking to get rid of some stuff, as you say, whether it's parent stuff or their own equipment that they just don't need anymore. And they're looking to sell. They want to stay away from the Kijiji market or the marketplace hassle. And so we, a couple of times a year, host KEH Camera. We're a huge company out of the U.S. who only buy and sell used equipment. That's their business. And so we host them, and they just set up shop in the corner of our store. People come in, and they'll evaluate your equipment and give you money on the spot for your gear. It's a great way to get that stuff into the hands of people who want it and get some money in your pocket.
That's coming up October 18th and 19th at the store. I've seen them there before.
Yes.
Very friendly folks. They walk you through your gear, give you a fair assessment in terms of value and all that stuff too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very friendly, and it's a very simple, informal process. There's no appointment necessary. Simply show up. There's often a bit of a wait. You never know. Somebody might show up with one piece. Somebody might show up with 5 big Rubbermaid containers full of gear. So you never know how long it's going to take. So be prepared for a little bit of a sit down, but we have coffee and water for everybody, and it's a very, very simple, easy process.
You also get to peruse the store, which is something that I love doing. Can you talk more about that? The importance of, I'm thinking about it now. We look online, we check these things out, but the idea of going and actually perusing and holding cameras, you guys deal with all the major camera brands. Can you talk more about that experience? If someone's walking in and thinking like, oh, we've got this old thing, we can get rid of that, but maybe we do want to upgrade and get something new. The folks at Photo Central can walk you through that, right?
Absolutely, and that is why we exist. That's why we have a store where you can actually use these things, because not all cameras are equal. If I tell you that I take a size 11 shoe, does not mean that every size 11 shoe fits my foot. And the same thing goes for cameras. Cameras can be very, very different, and we live in a society that's very numbers driven, spec driven, and that's easy to share online, but it's very hard to know, is that camera heavy? Does that camera fit my hand? Does that camera work for my eye? Is it just intuitive for me? Because there's a lot of differences between the different brands, and having the time and the opportunity to be able to look at this equipment and see if it actually suits you is what makes the difference for our customers. And I will mention too that KEH, if you're selling equipment to them, if you plan to use that money in the store, they give you a 10% bonus.
Wow.
So whatever that dollar amount is, if you're going to spend it with us, you get a boost.
Totally. Yeah. So it goes an even further distance, and
It's
we're
well
all
worth poking around in the store.
Well, yeah, that's just it. Go peruse, trade in those old cameras, and grab something new. Also thinking about the store, I want to make a point of asking about the lab because Photo Centrals is one of the best in the city. How are those print wizards of yours doing over there?
They're doing well. They are busy, and we actually have some plans to expand. You'll see that probably more after Christmas. If I told them that we're expanding and adding new things before Christmas, I might have a little bit of a revolution on my hands. But there are some more things to come. You're going to see some renovations and some changes in the store to accommodate the increased business and increased options that we have in that lab. But we're always happy to see you, always happy to have the conversations about what you want to print and
what you want to print and also what you want to develop too. I mean, it sounds strange. I brought this up every time you've been on the show, but I just want to make clear to people, film is totally back.
Absolutely.
And that is something that is very much a part of Photo Central's business model as well, right?
It is. We do a lot with film, and the people shooting film right now are probably having more fun than anyone I know in the industry. They're just they come in, they're happy, they're excited to see what they have. The wait, of course, creates that wonderful tension as to see just how well I did or what did I get. And there's so many film options now. I can't believe how much of my store is still dedicated to the film world.
Film world, and also like film developing equipment if you want to do it at home and all that stuff that you kind of have a tougher time finding in 2024, but you guys continue to bring it in. Even things like negative sleeves, every little thing that you could possibly need. Photo Central really is a one-stop shop for that, and also a good reminder to print those images, whether they're captured on film, captured on a phone, captured on a camera. Make sure you get them off of screens and into your hands, onto your fridges, into frames, all that type of thing, right?
Absolutely. And we see so many people coming in thinking that whatever medium they have, maybe they found some old film in their parents' basement, or that hasn't been shot, or maybe there's some old negatives, or maybe they found a phone and there's some pictures on there and they'd love to get them off. It doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't matter about the quality, quite frankly. It is just so special to be able to have that image and find out, oh, there's a picture of me when I was a kid, or there's a picture of my daughter I didn't know I had. Get those on your wall, get them on your fridge, wherever you like to put your prints. But we can find a way to get them printed for you. So bring them in.
A very good reminder indeed. A couple more things. We're coming up on the Classic 107 online auction, the return. I think there's going to be a couple of cameras that are going to be up for grabs as well, right? Do you want to tell us more about those while we got you here in the store?
Yeah, sure. We've got a few cameras on there. We like to throw some different things up there every time. This time, the key pieces are going to be Olympus OM10 Mark IVs. They are a wonderful travel camera, so interchangeable lens camera. So you do have an option to make this as much of a hobby and a system as you want to, but they also stand alone as a fantastic, much higher quality camera for travel or anywhere you want to go where you don't have a lot of space. These cameras work wonderful for that. And
a great form factor too. I mean,
Absolutely.
not overly large, very, very manageable weight-wise and all that too. So that's a great system. And yes, people will be able to find that online in the online auction. Only makes sense. And one last thing as I've got you here, Andrew. I mean, we're heading into the cooler weather. Anything to be aware of? Like I'm thinking about with the changing seasons, maybe people are thinking, oh, maybe I need some different accessories, maybe a new bag that can stand up to cooler temperatures, or maybe just some backup batteries, or maybe a carbon fiber tripod that doesn't get as cold as those old metal ones. You guys have that stuff too, right?
We have all those things, and all those things that you list are key components for winter. Absolutely. Batteries lose their charge much more quickly in the cold, so having that spare battery in your pocket is always a good idea. Having your camera in a bag so that when you walk inside, you don't get condensation on your camera. That nothing ends a camera's life quicker than moisture, and so getting it inside a good bag is always nice. And if you want something lighter, if you want something less likely to freeze your fingers, carbon fiber products are great. But we have all kinds of things that just make the photographic experience easier, more comfortable, throughout the year. But winter,
It just makes it harder, so why not make it easier on yourself with some better gear? I can definitely attest to that. Andrew, as always, wonderful having you here in the store. If people want to find you, you're over at 957 Portage Avenue. That's right by Portage and Arlington. Or online anytime at photocentral.ca. Great seeing you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.